Who actually rules Kenya? Is it the man in the State House, the politicians we vote for every 5 years, or is power sitting somewhere else, quiet, deeper, and far less visible? Because here is the truth most people feel but rarely say about it. Because here is the truth most people feel but rarely say out loud. Governments change, but systems don't. Today, we are pulling back the curtain. In this episode, you will discover how power in Kenya is structured, who officially holds it, and more importantly, who influence it behind the scenes. We look at history, institutions, and the invisible forces that shape decisions long before they reach the public. By the end, you might start to see Kenyan leadership in a completely different way. Welcome to Curiosity Kenyan. This is where we question everything, dig deeper than headlines, and connect the dots others ignore. If you are new here, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and share it widely. And don't hold back your thoughts. I want to hear your perspective in the comments. Now, let's get started. On paper, Kenya is a democracy. Power is clearly structured. The executive, led by the president, parliament, which makes laws, and the judiciary, which interprets them. This structure is rooted in the 2010 Constitution of Kenya, one of the most progressive in Africa. Legal scholar Yash Gai, one of the key architects of that constitution, once emphasized, the constitution was designed to disperse power and prevent its concentration in one office. And on the surface, it works. We vote, leaders campaign, governments change. But here's the question. If power is truly dispersed, why do the same patterns keep repeating? Let's introduce an uncomfortable idea, the deep state. Not as conspiracy, but as a system. Political scientist Francis Fukuyama describes modern states as layered structure where formal institutions coexist with informal networks that often wield equal or greater influence. In Kenya, this shows up in subtitled ways. Policies that remain consistent across different governments. Economic priorities that rarely shift. Individuals and networks that remain influential regardless of elections. This is not unique to Kenya, but in Kenya, it's deeply tied to history. To understand today, we go back. The colonial Kenya was not built for democracy. It was built for control. Land, resources, and economic power were concentrated in very few hands. Historian Caroline Elkins documented how colonial systems work. Created entrenched inequalities that did not disappear at independence, but instead transformed. After independence in 1963, power didn't reset, it shifted. The new political elite inherited land structures, economic systems, and administrative control. And from there, influence began to concentrate around certain families and networks. Let's separate the two things. Authority. It is the power you are given by law. Then influence. It is the power you accumulate over time. President holds authority, but influence, that's built through wealth, networks, history, and control of resources. Take families like the Kenyatta family and the Moi family. The influence goes far beyond politics. Land ownerships, business interests, and institutional connections. Economist David Ndii once pointed out, Kenya's political economy is shaped less by policy and more by elite bargains. In simple terms, power is often negotiated, not just elected. Now, let's talk about money, because in any country, control of economy equals control of direction. In Kenya, key sectors are dominated by a few powerful players: banking, telecommunications, and energy. Companies like Safaricom don't just provide services, they shape digital infrastructure, financial access, and even how people communicate. And here is something critical. Governments rely on these institutions through taxes, through partnerships, and through economic stability, which creates a relationship where power is shared, not centralized. Now, let's zoom out, because not all influence comes from within Kenya. Organizations like the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank plays a major role in shaping economic policy through loans and financial programs. They often attach conditions. Economic historian rhetoric explains, global financial institutions influence domestic policy through conditionality, shaping choices available to governments. In Kenya, this has affected tax policies, public spending, and debt management. So, even when discussions appear local, they are often globally influenced. Now, we come to the most complex layer, the networks you don't see, like business alliances, political connections, family ties, and elite cycles. Psychologist C. Wright Mills described this as an interlocking system of elites who share interests across politics, business, and institutions. In Kenya, these networks operate quietly. No campaigns, no rallies, and no public accountability. But their influence is real. Who gets access, who gets contracts, and who gets opportunities, and often who doesn't. So let's bring all together. Does the president rule Kenya? Yes, constitutionally. But in reality, power is distributed across political leaders, economic elites, historical families, global institutions, and invisible networks. It's not one person, it's a system shaped by history, money, and influence. But something is changing. For the first time in decades, power is being questioned at scale. Young people are organizing, information is moving faster, narratives are being challenged, the monopoly of influence is weakening. And that raises a new question. If power is shifting, who will control the next system? So, the next time you hear about politics, don't just ask who is in the office. Ask who benefits, who influences, who remains even when leaders change, because that's where real power lives. Thank you for watching. If this made you think differently, share this video, start conversations, challenge perspectives, and I want to hear from you. Who do you think really holds power in Kenya? Make sure you like, subscribe, and stay with this series, because in the next episode we go deeper into the families and economic empires shaping Kenya's future. You don't want to miss it. This is Curiosity Kenya. Stay curious, stay vigilant.